We'll be using the Perception app to take a look at correlations as they are reported in the news. To get started, highlight the passcode, copy it, click on the Provide Passcode button, paste the passcode into the field, and then click OK. Then click on the Start button, and away we go. So we have a card on the left that says that Pearson's R is 0.16, and the card on the right is an example of a correlation report in the news. It says a strong negative correlation between corruption levels and the freedom with which civic organizations are able to operate and influence public policy. So that came from one of the websites, and you'll see that it has here strong negative correlation, and what we're going to zero in on is the fact that this is a strong correlation being reported. So we're going to compare a strong correlation with a correlation of 0.16 and select the weakest of those two correlations. So the closer a correlation is to 0, the weaker it is. The further it is from 0, the stronger it is. When we're exploring, when we're looking at how a correlation is reported, if a correlation is strong, then that means that the absolute value of Pearson's R was 0.7 or greater. If a correlation is reported as weak, then that means that it's the absolute value of the Pearson's R is less than or equal to 0.3. And if the correlation is reported as moderate, then that means that the absolute value of the correlation is between 0.3 and 0.7. And absolute value simply means ignore the sign. So if the correlation were a positive 0.52, then it would fall between the 0.3 and the 0.7. And if it was a negative 0.52, the absolute value would again fall between the 0.3 and the 0.7. So by doing this activity, you're becoming more comfortable and familiar with how correlations are categorized and seeing some examples of how they appear in the news. And of course, one of the things that I'm sure you've been told before is that correlation does not imply causation. So anytime you see that a correlation is reported, that does not mean that there is necessarily a cause and effect relationship. There could be, but it's not evidence that that is the case. It just lets you know that you can make predictions. So here I'm looking at positive, strong positive correlation. So correlation of 0.16 is weaker. This says it's moderate, so negative 0.94 is stronger. This here says it's moderate, negative 0.8 is stronger. So I shouldn't have clicked on it. I should have clicked on the weaker one. So if you make an error, the correct answer will be highlighted for you. If you wait too long, the correct answer will be highlighted for you. So this is a strong correlation, so I'm not going to click on that. I'm going to click on the weaker one. As you can see, I waited too long. Negative 0.08 is closer to 0, so that's the correct answer. So let's see here. Weak, click on that. Moderate, click on that. Moderate, click on it. Weak, click on that. Strong, not that one. Strong, not that one. Moderate, so click on the negative 0.26. And basically, as you get experience with this, it's easier for you to quickly scan through the information and pull out the important or more relevant info that you need here. So there will be approximately 30 decisions that you make, and then at the end of it, you'll see your average performance as well as how long it took you to make each of these decisions. Okay, so our performance was 86.67% accuracy. Our decision time was 0.04 seconds. Pretty good for looking at the news there. And since this met the performance threshold expected, when I click on menu, it'll give me a completion code. If for some reason it had not, it would say continue, and I'd get another opportunity at it until I met the performance threshold. So I'll click menu. My completion code is 373. That code works for just this one quiz attempt. So I'll put in 373, and then I'll click on the submit quiz.